So major difference between workflow and workflow process builder and flow is that workflow and process builders will always fire when the record is saved in the database. Okay, after the record is saved in the database. And it does not have any kind of a screen or UI. You cannot ask for any user inputs, right? These features are not available. But what flow does is that through flow, you can do many things. The first important change is you can fire anything which happens before the record is saved. Okay, so you can fire a logic so that a record change happens before a record is saved. You can do some automation. Second, after the record is saved, you can fire automation just like workflow or process builders. Whatever you could do with workflow and process builder, everything you can do with flows. Another part is that you can also have UI inputs. You can have buttons on which people can click and you can give UI. That means you can give a screen using flows. And you can also schedule something. That means automatic firing of a automation. You can think like at night, 12 o'clock, I will fire something. Automatic or the record update will happen. Yeah, this thing also you can do in a flow. Okay, so let us now see this. So these are different kinds of flows which we are discussing. So when we see this, we will see that how easy is it. Flow is a little bit complicated than workflow and process builder. So don't get tensed. You just need to practice a little more in order to master it. But flow is very, very important and the most important tool in your arsenal to get a job. So please remember, if you are not well versed with flows, cracking interviews and everything will be very, very hard for you. And even further development is also very tough. So be very attentive on what things are happening. And if you are, I will give supporting materials also, don't worry about it. I also have a Bengali recording for flows. I will share that if you need some additional help. Yeah. So let's talk about process automation once again. And in process automation, we already discussed the workflow, right? Workflow rules was discussed, process builder was discussed. Now today we are going into flows. Okay, if you create a new flow, you see these are the 5 different flows that opens up. What are these? Screen flow is when you want users to put their values or inputs. If you want a screen, in that case, you will be using screen flow. This can fire from a button click, or you can put the screen inside the record page. We'll see that. Second is record triggered flow, which is exactly similar to how process builder or workflows work, right? When the record is saved, we fire and we fire a logic and automation from there. Scheduled triggered flow is something which I said that it runs in the night or anytime in the day, which you schedule and automatically a logic can fire. Okay. Auto launch flow is basically usually used when you want to fire this flow from any other flow, right? So this is like a dependent flow. Then you will use the auto launch flow. And platform event triggered flow is something which we will not discuss today because this is an advanced topic. We will not talk about platform events. So we'll concentrate our energies on these 3, particularly first 2. So before we get into screen mode and stuff, I will first talk about record triggered flow, which is exactly similar to how process builder or workflows work, right? The first thing you do is to decide which object this will fire on, right? So let's do that automatic contact creation using flows. How can we do this? Using flows rather than process builders, which we did last time, right? So we have to select which object will fire this, right? Which record saving on which object will fire this. Okay. Now we can select when this will fire, when the record is created, when the record is updated, or when the record is created or updated, right? So let us fire this when the record is created. You can also set entry conditions. That means you can put some logic, just like we had other logics. Here, you can use formulas also to evaluate. Okay, so that is the very exciting and most powerful part. But here, what we will do is that we will use the same thing. The active equals to yes. So we want the only active accounts to have contacts, right? That is the requirement which we had. So we'll put a logic like this, right? You can add other conditions. In that case, all the condition is now combined using AND. You can combine using or you can have your own custom logic condition, which if you want to use AND and OR both together, right? And formula also you can use. So this is how it works. Now there are two things. A trigger can fire before and after, which I said, right? This before stuff is not available in workflow, right? Workflow and process builder does not give you an option to fire or write a logic before a record is saved. But here flow gives you both. So when to use what? Let's see. It is saying update fields on the record that triggers the flow to run. Okay, update fields on the record that triggers the flow to run. What does it mean? Can anybody say?
So the condition which we have put in the field, just like the active, the moment we click on the active, then only it will run.
No, that will run both here and here, both. This is the condition on which the flow is firing. But the flow can be run before the record is saved and after the record is saved. So when to use what? So it is saying update fields on a record that triggers the flow to run. That means what? Anybody please guess what is it talking about? First field updates. It means where the record which is firing the flow, if you are changing any date or data automatically in any of the fields of that record, use this one. Okay, if you are making any changes or creating any records which is not the record which is firing the flow, then use this one. Clear? If you are making any field changes on the record which is firing the flow, use this. If you are making any record changes in any other records except the record which is firing the flow, then use this. Clear? Any confusion? This is very important to understand. So this flow is firing when a record is getting created, right? If you are changing any of the field values of that record, then you will be using this. If you are creating a record or editing a record which is not the record which is firing this, then you will create this. So my requirement is I have to create contacts, automatic contacts. So which one will I use? This one or this one?
Sir, action
And related records. Why?
Because we have to put a new contact. Right now we don't have.
No, new contact, that's fine. But why not this one? Why not this one?
So because this will only trigger after, if we are editing something. If we are
No. As I said, if I am doing any changes on the record that is firing this flow, which record is firing this flow? What kind of record is this? Which record will file this flow?
Accounts.
Account record, absolutely. So I am creating a contact. That means I am not working on the record which is firing this flow, right? I am not changing any field values of account. I am creating a record which is not account, right? Then I will use this one. Simple. Any confusion? Got it?
Yes, sir.
So there are two ways in which you can create a flow. There is auto layout and what is a free form. You can use both. In free form, you will see this and you can drag and drop. In auto layout format, you just have to click this and it shows the same things. Okay. I will use the free form for us to understand a little more. So
sir, can you explain that once again?
Sorry, come again.
Can you explain that previous one once again?
Which one?
Record and active one. The previous page, yes. Sir.
This one, first field and action. This one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So which record is actually firing this flow?
Account.
Account record. So this will be used if I modify or update any field of that account record. For example, I want to update automatically the description field. Then I will use this.
Okay.
If I am creating a new record or updating any record which does not belong to the record which is firing this flow, then I will use this.
Sir, which does not belong to account record or
Account record. If there is a requirement that another account should be automatically created,
okay.
then also you will use this one.
Okay.
So
But that field is only for account.
this field is only for the record which is firing this flow.
Okay. Sir.
Okay, not
Okay.
for account. Account is just an object. It can be any object.
It can be any object, yes, sir.
Yes, the record which is filing this flow, if you are making any changes on that record, you will use this.
Yes, sir.
If you are making any changes or creating any records which is any other record, then you will use this.
Okay, sir. Okay.
For our situation, I am creating a new contact. Which one will I use?
Sir,
The second one, actions and related records.
Action related, because this is not the, I am not working on the account which is
account
firing.
record, yes, sir.
I have nothing to do with that record. I will create a completely new record. So I will use this one. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So there are many things which you can do. This is the huge list. Let's see the difference. If I change this to, first see this. You can create record, update record, get record, and delete record. Okay, 4 activity you can do on this kind of a flow, right? If I change this to fast and field update, you will see you cannot delete record or you cannot create any record. Clear?
Sir, why is it so, sir?
Because we already discussed this. This flow is for creating new records or updating other records or working on
Okay.
other records, right? Not
Yes,
this
sir.
one. So this has already limited your options. Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Please note, when you are using this update for that record is not needed. I will discuss this later. First, let's analyze and do the job. So I have now the account record. I have set it up. I will now create a contact. How will I create a contact? What should I drag and drop?
Create records.
Create record.
Create a record.
So let's create it, and I will create contact. How many records I will create?
1.
So on. There are 2 options to set the values of that record. How to set the record value? Use all values from a record. Use separate resources and literal values. What is use all
separate
value from a
resources.
record? That means
Is
you
already
can,
in a record.
yeah, sorry.
Can use the previous record for this updation.
If you already have a contact record which you want to
Yeah.
use, then you can use this. I don't have any contact record till now, right? I have not.
Yeah.
I am not working.
Create
So
a
I will use separate resources and literal values. Separate resources means separate values. Okay.
correct
So which object am I going to create?
contact.
Contact, yes.
Which field should I have to fill up? What is the
Contact.
mandatory field of contact?
Last name.
Last name and
So last name, what did I do in the last? Last name was dynamic or static? Last name was dynamic or static? Anybody remembers? This was the contact we automatically created through process builders, right?
Hmm.
What did we do? We said that we will use the account name sorry, we will use the account name hyphen contact, right?
Hmm.
That was the last step. Let's do this same thing.
Yes, sir.
We'll say, how will I get now the account name? I need to have the account name first, right? Let us first add the fields which I want to add associate. So first name, last name, any other field I have to associate?
Account
Or
ID.
sorry,
Account ID.
account ID. Why account ID is needed?
So because there will be multiple name of that particular.
No. Account ID. What is the use of account ID?
So the
Contact
we can
name-
create a relationship between that particular account only.
Absolutely. Which this contact belongs to which account? I have to relate it, right? For that, I have to fill up the account ID.
Yes, sir.
So, what kind of field is account ID? क्या हुआ भाई?
Sir, alphanumeric, sir.
What kind of field? Salesforce
Sir,
field type. What is the
16-digit one.
Salesforce field type of account ID? What is the Salesforce field type for last name? What is the Salesforce field type for first name? What is the Salesforce field type for account ID? What is the Salesforce field type? I know these are standard fields, but what is the Salesforce? What is account ID storing?
Sir, alphanumeric digit, sir.
Alphanumeric digits. If I type something like this, will it what?
So it will generate an ID.
Which ID?
Sir, I am installing something, sir.
Huh? What is account ID? What kind of field is it? This has been discussed in, I think, second class. Nobody remembers. So what kind of field is this? Account ID? Chostika? You're not spending time with Salesforce. Spend more time. It is very important. Otherwise, these are basics which needs to be discussed. So if I go and check any account, what type of field is this? Have you guys have heard about lookup and master detail fields? Or this is a new thing?
It's a parent-child record.
Parent-child record.
No,
This is the account
is-
ID, and this is what it is. This is the data type. What kind of field is this?
so
A
it's a
lookup field.
lookup field.
So you guys are not able to answer this answer. Account IDs is what kind of field? We're giving alphanumeric stuff. Any alphanumeric character will
Sir,
have.
I mistaken, sir. Sir, means I thought that you were asking about the Salesforce ID, which is automatically generated in the HTTP ID, sir.
Salesforce ID is generated for the record which is created. I am asking, what does this field store?
Yes, sir.
What does it store? What is it storing? Have you done data loading?
Yes.
Yes,
What
sir.
data did you send in lookup? What did you fill up in lookup? Completely forgotten.
Account ID.
Account?
Account ID.
Account
Sorry?
ID.
Account ID. Account ID I will get from where?
So for account,
From
sir.
how will I get it? Show me the step. I can see a account ID. How will you direct me? Show me how can I fetch a account ID? This is the account record. Where? How will I get the account ID?
Sir, in the HTTP link there after account.
This
Yes,
is the
this
account
is-
ID.
Yes, sir.
Who is generating this?
So Salesforce.
Salesforce is generating this. So if there is a parent-child relationship, that means one-to-many relationship. Account is the parent, and what is that? What is the relationship between account and contact?
So one-to-many.
One-to-many. So the relationship field needs to be created where? Child or parent?
So child.
Child. So what are the kinds of relationship fields we have in Salesforce?
Lookup relationship,
So lookup
master
master.
detail,
So lookup master
Lookup
detail.
and master detail. So only these two fields are there.
junction object.
Junction is not a relationship field. I'm talking about the relationship fields. What
Yeah.
kind of different relationship fields you have? Master detail and lookup, right?
Yes.
So in account and contact, what is the field they have created? Master detail or lookup?
Lookup.
Lookup field they have created. So this lookup field will store what?
Account ID.
This account ID, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So I will fill up this account ID. Where I will get from? We have to remember that this flow is getting firing from a account record itself, right? A account record is when newly getting created, that is firing this flow. So this is called $record. This is a variable which is storing that account's details. Okay. If I go there and click on it, I will see all the field values of that account record. One of them is the name field. So I will just use it. So $record.name. This is where I will get this field, and then I will put a hyphen, and I will use a contact. This is just a string value. Contact flow. Yes, differentiate it. So what will happen? It will first put the account name here, then there is a hyphen, then there is a contact. Right? Oh, I'm sorry. This will go to the last name. First name, I will put a auto flow, something of that sort. And in account, I will create record dot. Which field should I associate?
Parent
Parent
account.
account ID is
Parent account ID. You guys are not even seeing the fields which is there, standard fields. This is a parent account field. What is this doing in account? What did we do in process builder? Do you remember? Auto create contact was there. Just compare this. We also did a account, same, right? In flow builder also, we have something like this one, account. Then we did is that check active, which we have already done here itself, right? Now what we are doing, we are saying that create a contact. What did we do here? In the first time, we put a hard-coded character, auto PB. In last name, we used a formula.
Formula.
Can concatenate the account name, then we did a hyphen, and then we did a contact. Please remember, here we are using quotation because we are using a formula. In flow, we are not using a formula. That's why you can directly write it. There is no need for quotation. So we did the same, right? We are trying to do the same. What are we passing to the account ID? A field reference, that means a field value. Which field are we passing here?
Account ID.
Account dot ID, the ID field. Parent ID is used for parent of a record. Account also comes with a hierarchy. So every account can have a parent account also. It's a self lookup. That's why its data type is hierarchy. That means a account can have stored the ID of another account. That becomes its parent. Got it? It's a normal ID field which I need. Let's try once again. Tell me. How many records? One. Set values to record for which what should I use? This?
Use
Two
separate.
Separate resources, right? Separate values.
Contact.
Contact. Okay. So which field should I need?
Last name.
Last name.
Last.
Which is mandatory?
First name.
Which of these fields is mandatory? And any other field?
Account ID.
Account ID.
Which of these fields are mandatory? Come on.
Last name.
So last
Only
name.
right? What I will fill in last time? Now help me out.
Name field.
Huh?
Account name, sir.
Where will I get that from?
Account.
From record.
Dollar?
Record.
Dollar.
Dollar record.
Dollar record. This is the dollar record. Dollar record dot what? Which field?
Name.
Name.
Sir, account name.
Account name. Name. Account name, sir.
Name field. Field name is called name. Okay. Hyphen. Contact.
Contact. Flow.
This I am doing because it just added some other characters along with the account name. Okay. First time I want to hard code. Auto flow. That means a string character. Every contact created by this flow will always have this one. But this will change, keep on changing, right? This part will keep on changing. Every account will have its own account name here. Right? So last name will keep on changing. Account ID will pass what?
Account.
Which? Where from did we get the name?
Sir, record. Dollar record.
How will I get the ID?
Same, sir. Dollar record.
Absolutely. The dollar record. Which field? What is the name of the field?
Account.
Hmm?
Account ID, sir.
Field name is account ID. That I showed you right now. What is the field name?
Dot ID. Account ID.
Dot ID.
The same thing here, right? Dot ID. This is the ID field. Okay. Done. I have to drag and drop and add this. That's it. Save. Now it is asking for a flow name. I saved it. Now I have to activate it. I can test it from here itself before I activate it. Okay. I can do that. So you can run it from here. What is it? Is I think you cannot launch a record triggered flow, right? Then you see what is a debug. It is asking for an account record through which you can test it. So debug is testing. View test is also possible, wherein you can create your own test records. Okay, and you can do that. So we'll not discuss this today. We are working on flows today. So this is already done. Let's test this flow. Please note that the workflow and the process builder is also active. Okay, right? This is the parent account record which we are talking about. Here you can add any other account, so that becomes your parent. Okay, play with it. You guys are not spending time. Okay, so active needs to be yes, right? Then only it will fire. So I have created a contact. You see, contact flow record is created. This contact is created by the flow. The process builder, which was done before, and this is created by the flow. The same thing which you can do using a flow. Auto flow is the first name. Flow test one is the account name hyphen contact flow is something which we give, right? Clear? Okay. You can do many things. Instead of creating records, you can update all contact records. Then you have to use this update record. There can be many ways of doing it. Let's delete this. And I will now update. What is that? Update. So what I can also create another flow. Okay, that is also possible. So let's do one thing. Let's not remove this. So now we have created auto create contact using flows. Right? So this is the record that is getting created. So let's now do a record is created or updated. Yeah. I want to now change this logic and create a record only when an existing record does not exist. If there is any existing contact, then I will not create this record. Okay. If there is no contact, then only I will create this record. That is my requirement. So I have changed my requirement. What should I do now? First, I have to check how many contacts are there for this account. How will I do that? What do you think can be used in this list?
So get records.
Get records. Good idea. Let's see what it does. Check level is that. Let's see, get contacts. Okay, simple. Which object I am firing on?
So contacts.
Contact. Simple.
Contacts.
I will check contacts are there. What is the condition? How will I get the records? This is same as doing a SQL query. We did that in what is data loader, right? Workbench. Remember Workbench?
Yes, sir.
In Workbench, we did a select query, right? Get record is actually doing a select query. So in Workbench, if I did and I wanted to see if there is how many contacts are there for an account, what will I do?
SQL query.
SQL query for on which object?
Contact.
Sir, account object.
Account object.
On account object, I'll fire to check how many contacts are there.
No.
No, sir, contact.
Contact.
Let's be logical. So maybe I can do a count, or I can check the IDs or names, whatever. Select count from contact. Do I need to use a filter? What will happen if I do a query on this one? It will give us 40 records. Does this 40 records belong to that same contact, same account?
No.
How will I check that which contacts belong to this account?
So we'll filter by account name.
Filter by account name. Do you have an account name field?
Account ID.
Account ID.
Account ID. Great.
ID. Yes, sir.
So where will I get this ID from?
From the account field.
Maybe this one.
Yes.
This is the 18 character I need, right?
Yes.
So this is the query I have to fire. When I fire this query, I find that query would return 2 records. Yeah, I can change this
Yes, sir.
ID and name. If I put a account ID also here, what will I get? Account ID. Query. So ID is the record ID of the contact. Name is the name of the contact, and account ID is the same, right? Both these records have the same account ID. So I know these 2 contacts belong to this account. Exactly the same thing I have to do here. So what is the condition? Filter condition then.
Field is
Yeah.
Account
What
ID.
is the account ID? Absolutely. Equals what? Where will I get this ID from?
Sir,
dollar.
dollar record.
Dollar.
Good. Now you guys are. Now, what is the field name?
Dot ID.
Dot ID. Sir. Dot ID.
ID. Dot ID. Absolutely. Be
Yes.
very particular on this. If this turns this blue, then only you are right. Otherwise, it will show a different color, red one. So it will then not wrong, not right. Okay. Please remember. So account. If you click on this, it will again show this one. That is the actual. So account ID equal to the account record which is firing this flow. I'm passing that ID. So I'm filtering contacts to only get the contacts which belong to this account, right? That is only I want to need.
Yes.
How many records do I need? Do I need all records or do I need a single record?
So all records.
All records.
So if the logic is check for 1 record only, if there is 1 record, don't create it. Then only the first record is fine enough for me, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If I want to use all the records, then I will do all records.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
So I can go and use all records, no problem. But only the first record is something. Let's use this first. Now, what you have captured from database, you can store automatically. If you use this option, then you don't have to do anything. Otherwise, you need a bucket to store values. Just like taking a shower in the morning. There are 2 ways of having a shower, right? Do you have like the water shower in your bathrooms? Do you use that for showering or taking a bath?
Sir,
Yes,
bulky.
sir.
Sir, mug.
Mug. Yeah. When you are using a mug, then you have a bucket which you fill with water and then you use the mug to pour the water on your head, right?
Yes.
And the other way is just opening the tap, and if you have a shower, then the water directly comes to your head, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Both are the different techniques of taking bath, isn't it? So which is right and which is wrong?
Both of
Is
them
there
are
a right or wrong?
No, so both of them are correct.
Both of them.
Yeah, it is your choice what you want to do. Similarly, this is your choice. You want to store the water in a bucket and then use it later, or you want to store it directly. You want to use the values which is coming from database, just like a shower is dropping into your head. Yeah, you can. So automatically store values is using like a shower. Yeah, and choose field and assign values is the thing which is called. This is where you can choose which fields you will store. Okay. Right now, let's use the automatically stored all fields. Okay. Now let's do done. So I am first checking if there is one record existing in this contact, right? So this I have just fetched first. Second, what do I need to do? What is the logical next step after getting the records? Look for this.
Yeah.
What can I do?
Either you can update that record or delete that record.
Forget about this side. What is the job which you have to do before you can create the contact? Job means think logically. What logic is needed before creating the contact? Or can I directly do this? Can I do this? Will it work? What do you think?
I think it will work, but I'm sure that it's not the correct.
Huh? Sorry, go ahead.
I think that it will work, but I'm not sure. Sir.
So it will work, and every time it will create a record. So whether you have records or not, it doesn't matter. If I save this, you'll see there is a new version that has got created. It's the same thing. You have to activate this. Okay. So if you go and create another flow, or let's do this flow test. Now I'm firing this, right? And see how many contacts are there. 2 contacts are there, right? Now what I will do, flow test, I will go and edit it and save it. See, 3rd contact got created. Now we have 3 contacts. So it worked, definitely it worked. But was this intention? Was that the intention of the requirement? What is missing?
No.
What went wrong? I wanted to create only when there is no record, so isn't it? So where did I check for it?
Sir, validation
Did I do a check?
kind of.
I did not do any kind of check, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I fetched the record, stored it, but I forgot to do the checking.
Decision.
Yes, sir.
I just passed and then I just created the record. So these 2 activities cannot come one to one. I have to take a decision, right?
Yes, sir.
Check contacts. So has contact, or you say no contact, can be one outcome. So check contact means it is a if loop. If minimum has 2 branches, one is no contact. What is the
Yes.
default outcome?
Create
What is
a
the
contact.
default outcome? Sorry. If no contact is the one branch, then what is the default outcome? Default outcome is the other branch. Okay.
Yes.
What I am checking?
If there is
What I am
no-
checking? Huh?
If there is
There
any
a contact
contact.
or not.
Yes. So one outcome is there is no contact.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is the other outcome?
There is a contact.
So there is a contact.
That is the default contact outcome.
Yes, sir.
Here.
Yes.
Yes,
So
sir.
in the default outcome, the record will be created or not?
No, sir.
It will not be
No, sir.
created. Record will only be created when there is no contact.
There is
isn't it?
no contact. Yes.
That's correct.
Yes, sir.
But now, how will I check that the contact is there or not? Where am I storing this?
Dollar record.
Dollar record is storing the account.
Okay.
Where are we storing our contacts?
Contact.
Where did we store our contacts? Let's do it once again. This is the get record, right?
Yes.
Where did we store the contacts? It's called automatically store all fields.
Yes,
So
sir.
this activity itself is storing all fields. Okay.
Hmm.
So let's bring the decision once again. Take contacts. Default outcome is no contact.
No
No,
contact.
sorry, it is not default outcome. One outcome is no contact. Other outcome is has contact. There's a default outcome. So what this is the contact from get contacts.
Contacts.
Okay. I will check contact from get contacts is null. True or false?
So true.
True.
Is null. When the contact is null, that means there is no record.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Is true and false is some variables which Salesforce has defined for us. Global constant false, global constant true. Don't write true like this or false like this. Okay.
Yes.
It should be either of these global constants. So true. So what is this thing? If the condition requirement are met, that means the same story which we discussed about workflow, right? It will check only once if this field value has changed or not, and then only it will only fire once. If the condition requirements is met, that means it will fire every time. It's only if the record triggered flow to run is updated to meet the condition. This is that option. Okay. So which will fire only once. So please use this judiciously. So now we have two directions, right?
Yes.
So I will first connect this to the decision. That is the second step. Now in this decision will be connected to a record. See, I have to choose which outcome should I need to choose. Which outcome should I need to choose for create
No.
record?
No contact.
No contact.
No contact.
Done. So it is showing no contact, then only create record. What will I do with when there is a default outcome?
It will create no record, sir. No, it will create no contact.
Is there any action required for that?
No required. Not
Not
required.
required. So I will do nothing.
Yes.
I just save it. If I had something else to do,
Then we can continue.
then I can then add this to the next item, and I can say create record. So let me say I will create a record. Maybe this time I will create something else. I will say create task or send a mail or something of that sort. Yeah, you can do many things. It's record. So this is not record. Did I use a create record? Action. That is action task. We'll discuss that later. I don't want to
Yeah.
complicate it. Okay. So did I activate?
No.
I activate now. If you are seeing this in record flow builder, it is very important for you to look at that. Auto triggered flow. Here is a drop down. Okay. View details and edit versions. If you go there, you will see how many times this got changed, and it will also show you which one is active. The last one is active. That's why it is showing a deactivated button. You can deactivate. These two are inactive. That's why it is activated. If you activate this, then this will automatically get deactivated. Okay. So last version is automatically activated, but you can also activate a previous version. That's not a problem. Okay. So if you want to delete, you can delete only here. Flows can be deleted only going by this window. So please remember that. Otherwise, you will forget where to delete flows. Clear? All the version needs to be deleted first, then only you can delete this parent version.
So here, like process builder, we don't need to clone the data, sir.
Yeah, it is the same thing. Oh, no, you don't need to clone. It is automatically cloned.
Yes.
Yeah, so now let's test. So I will create with a new flow. Flow test. Two. What do you think will happen? The contact will get created or not?
So not.
Huh?
It will not, because there's already two contacts there.
How many contacts will be created? Here, now. This is a new account, right?
Oh,
This is a new account.
yes, sir.
How many contacts will be created now?
So only one.
Only one. Sure.
Not 100%, sir.
Give me a vote. Everybody type on the chat. I'm looking at everybody's message. Give me a vote. Come on, come on. Type here, type here. Let's see how many says one. Vaibhav is one. Okay. How many are saying one or two? It should ideally create two records, right? One with flow and one with process builder. It is getting created, right? Nowadays. So what will happen now? One. Vasav is saying one. Anybody who is saying one or two? Come on, come on. Make up your mind. You can go wrong or you can go right. That is fine. Itupato is also saying one. So why you guys are saying one? So let me ask one by one. Vaibhav, why are you saying it? There will be only one record?
Because we didn't make any rule that if there is no contact, then we will be getting two contacts.
If there is no contact, then so this is
We
the
will
new
be-
record, right? It has no contacts.
Yes, sir.
So why are you saying only one? What is your reason, Vasav?
Either the decision will be based on yes or no.
Which decision?
There is a decision making. If there is no contact, then a contact will be created.
So I am already creating a new account, right? It does not have any contact.
Yeah, then the condition check will be either there is a contact or no, then it will pass through the no contact and only one contact will be created.
So one contact will be created, but the process builder is also creating another contact, right?
Yes, sir.
So there will be two contacts, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you guys forgot the process builder. That's why you are saying one, or
Yes, sir.
No,
I
sir.
forgot.
Yes, sir.
I
Yeah.
forgot
I
the
thought-
process builder, but if that is the case, then there will be two records.
There were two, sir.
So one from the process builder, one from the flow. That is what
Flow.
you are saying.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
two records as usual, right?
Yes, sir.
Sir, one question is there, sir. If process builder is active, then does this flow will also work, sir?
Yes, you forgot the last flow. Two contacts got created. One from the process builder, one from the flow.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Process builder is a separate automation. Flow is a
Yes, sir.
separate automation. All the automations will fire.
Okay, sir.
Nothing gets suppressed. If there is a workflow is also firing. Did you see the description record? If you check the description field of the accounts, last account, this is the account, right? This was created by the flow. Sorry,
Yes,
this was
sir.
created by the process builder. This was created by the flow. This was created by the flow when I fired it once again.
Yes.
And if you see the description field, this is getting updated by the workflow.
Yes.
So everything is firing. The workflow is firing, the process builder is firing, the flow is also firing. My question is, what will happen now? My question is actually, the process builder is also creating a record, contact record.
Yes.
The flow is supposed
Yes.
to also create a contact record.
Yes.
Only
Sir,
when
if
there is no contact.
process builder is first making the contact, then the flow will not going to activate submits.
That's correct. So which fires first? Flows or the process
The
builder?
process builder. The process builder.
Sure.
So since we made the process builder means earlier, that's why.
No, that is
No.
not the reason. Here there is called a order of execution of Salesforce. It is very, very vital. You guys have to almost remember this. Okay. This is how it works. This is order of execution of Salesforce. It is a very, very important part. There is an order of 20 items. These are all the automations that is firing one after another. And Salesforce has clearly laid it out that this is the way it will fire. So you design your solutions based on that. Okay.
Yes.
I will spend a day later, but let's first see there is what is happening here. Here, before trigger is firing, first record trigger flows are configured to run before record is saved. That means all the flows before save record is fired first. Then the trigger is fired. That means the code is fired. Clear? Then you see after something's happened, we'll discuss that later. After the record is saved in database, then after trigger fires, then assignment rules fire, auto response rules fire. We'll discuss these two later. Then your workflow rule fires. Okay. Then it fires your processes. Then it fires flows launched by processes. Then it fires flows launched by workflow rules. Then it fires flows, which is we are writing now. So which is firing first, process or flow?
The process.
So the processes are firing first. Then the record trigger flow is fired. So what will happen? The flow will fire it, or it will not create the record.
So it will not get the record.
So how many contacts will get created?
One.
Okay, let's test this now. Only the process builder contact got created. Flow did not create any record. Right?
Yes.
I will now delete this record. I will go and check in the process builder. What is the criteria? This is only firing when the record is created. So next, when I am doing an update, the process builder will not fire, right? Now the flow is creating the account. Clear? Clear or confused?
Sir, it's clear but little bit confused. I got the point that, sir, if process builder is means if the first action is taken by process builder, then the flow will not get to fire. We need to deactivate
The
that.
logic is bypassing it, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
In the update, the process builder is not firing because I am only firing the process builder in the record creation. If I would have used this, then again the flow would be bypassing it. Flow will not fire it, right?
Yes.
So please remember this. The order of execution is important for you to understand. If there is a process builder and workflow rule, process builder and workflow rule will fire first, then the flow will fire. So please make sure that you understand that the logic for workflow rule will fire first, logic for the process builder will fire next, then the flow will fire. So make adequate changes. But you also remember that the before flow fires first. Okay, before flow fire before anything, even before code. Clear? Okay, now let's go back to our flow. So we have seen how this flow has worked. I will also send more videos. Before that, you need to go to Trailhead and search for flow. There are 2 trails I want you guys to complete. One is build flows with flow builder. The second one is automate your business process with flows. Okay, please finish this. Oh, these 2 trails. Okay, if you're facing any trouble, call Angshita or Rakesh, they will be able to help you. Okay. Now we discussed what is the after flow, what is the before flow. Now we have to discuss. Okay, so let's discuss before. Before flow is the same thing. So I will do a new flow. This is record ticket flow itself, but this time I am firing it on account object, and I am firing it record triggered and things, and I am doing it in a fast field update. So fast field update will only update field values on that account record. Yeah. So let's put a logic, the same logic. I will say active equals to, or maybe active equals to no this time. I will have a fast field. Yeah. Same thing. Every time a record is updated in miss condition, only when the record is updated in mid conditions, this means only once it will fire, right? So, done. This time I will use a this free form. I will not use it. I will rather use a auto layout. Here, I will check this auto layout. I want to save in my description field that this account needs activation. Yeah. So I will go. What? Let me. I will change the free form only. It will be easier for you to understand. So what will I use?
Create
Get record, update record.
Get records.
Get what? What I am getting.
The contact records.
I am getting contact records. Contact records. Why?
Sir, if
My
the
requirement is
record is active, then don't upgrade the description box.
absolutely. So what is my first step?
Get
I have
record.
already taken the. I have already taken the. This flow is firing only when the active is no. So that check is already done here. Okay. I don't need another decision. The decision is taken care of. Now what should I do? What do I need to do? I want to update in the description field automatically that this account needs to be activated. What activity is this?
Update record, sir.
Update record, of course. I am doing an update record. Please remember, update record activity is only for records which is not the flow, the record which is triggering the flow. So I will not use this one. I will use assignment. Okay. Assignment is value assigning. So I will say description. Which variable? Which field I have to update?
Description field.
How will
Record
I get the description? Record
record description.
description equals to, I will say this account needs activation. There can be a big message. I don't want to type it here. Is there any other way? Yes. Just like taking a shower. This time I want to create a bucket. How can I create a bucket? I can do a creation of bucket from here. I can also go to manager and create it from here. Same thing. So I am creating a new resource. What is this new resource? It's a constant. I can also create a variable. Yeah. So let's have a constant, and I will say message. The data type text field. What is the text field I will write? I will say this account needs now I have created a constant variable and assigned it to account description. Okay, it's just like using a bucket. You could have typed it here, so no difference. But this time you will see in the manager section you have created a constant. You can create a variable also. If you're changing the value, then you need a variable. If you are not changing the value, then constant is fine. There are many more features up there. You will gradually need to learn. Flow is very powerful. Okay, today is elementary chapter. So now I have just updated description field and I am saving it. It's called update description for inactive accounts. Okay, debate. Now let's see. Right. Is no description. I am setting it to no. Automatically created. Clear? If I change this to now yes, what will happen?
So it will go away. Message.
It will go away, or there will be new message.
So we didn't enter any other message apart from that one.
Here is the new message.
Okay. Okay. Yes, sir.
This message is coming from where?
Workflows.
Workflow. And now we can see also a contact getting created. This time this contact was created by the flow, not the process builder. Why?
Because we edit it.
Yeah, we edited it.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
The process builder was only firing for the create. Clear? Combinations? Okay. Now we'll look at, are you tired already, or do you want to get into the other type of flows? I think we should go slowly. What do you think?
It was enough for today, sir. I think.
Enough for today? No, I will. Okay, I will not go to separate kind of flows today, but I will give you assignments.
Yes, sir.
Before that, I will discuss a little more about this. So I will go back to that old flow once again. So how better you can write a flow is something I want you to write flows with best practices. So how will I write it? So this is flow. I will optimize this auto create flow using buckets now. Okay. What is a bucket? Bucket means I have to create a bucket. As I said, I can create a bucket anywhere. So this get record, I will create a bucket. Which bucket is this? For creation of records, you can create a bucket. This time I will use all values from a record. Clear? Gone. Which record? So see what are the options I am getting. I am getting a contact record. I am getting a account record. But I don't need these two. I need a new record to be created, right? I can use the values from these two records, but actually I am not using these for any updates. Usually you will use these if you want to update any values. For update operations, probably you will use any existing content, any existing records. But for new records, you have to create a new bucket. So I will create a new resource. This time I will create a variable, new contact. Please remember, API names don't have a package. What is the data type? What should I select here?
The record.
Yes, correct. So this is a record type of data. I can also make this variable collection by ticking this checkbox. Okay, where will you need collections if you are dealing with many records at a time? What kind of object am I creating? Record. This record is which object?
Context.
Contact. What is available for input, available for output? We'll discuss this later. Not required for record trigger plus usually. So, so new contact is now is the record I will use for submitting create record. But new contact does not have any value, right? So how will I assign the value? I have to use the assignment variable. Assign values new contact. Please remember the new contact record is in memory. It is not stored in database till this create record is fired. Okay. So if you forget to create the record, then flow will create the new contact, but it will not get stored in database. Which value, which fields should I update in this new contact? This is the record, right? The same, first time. Auto. New contact dot last name. Same. I will use the record $record. What I was doing directly on that create record, I will now do it here. name field, flow new, and
Account ID.
account ID. New contact dot account ID is equal to $record.
Dot ID.
So now my variable is created. I will make it again on the default journey, no contact, and then I will assign this variable to directory. If you are working with collection, invariably you have to use this option. If you are using one record at a time, then probably you will go and you can use this one. But if you are working on multiple records, try to fire the create record or update record only once. Okay, so you have to use the collection variable. So this is the better way of writing code. So I want you to create variables, assign values to variables, and then use these activities. Okay, this is the best practice. It's cleaner. Very well, you will understand that I have created a new contact, which is a single variable. I also creating a automatic single variable from this get record. So this is the contact which I got from database. So there are two. One is automatically created by Salesforce. One was created by me. Right? So you can see all the details in the elements. Okay. Another thing is loop. If you use this one and did all records, then how will you go through all the contacts? Right? Let us create a decision that if I have a auto contact, then only I will create a record. Otherwise, I will if there is no auto contact, then only I will create a contact. If there is an auto contact already, then I will bypass. Instead of one contact, I want to now check the first name should have auto. For this, I have to run a loop, check each of this item. So here I am working on a collection. Because right now I already changed this, and you will see how it has changed. If I go to the manager now, you will see the contact from get record has moved from single record variable to a record collection variable. So the type has changed now. So is null check is something that is also possible, but we are not doing null check. We are checking that if any of the contact has first name as auto. Clear? How will I check that? So I will put a loop and I will check auto. What is the correction variable? This is not a check basically. This will I should name it loop contacts. Which collection variable I am firing? Record collection variable, only one. Get contacts. I can go from first item to last item or last item to first item. So now I will loop. How will I use a loop? I have to check a decision. I have to make a decision that there is a auto contact already there or not, right? So this loop will go to the decision. For each item in the collection, I will check that there is this is a different check. So let's forget this form. I need a decision now, which says that check auto is a default outcome. So new what can be the possible outcomes for checking auto? Tell me. check auto contact. What is the default outcome? What are the outcomes, possible outcomes?
No auto.
Absolutely. Why you're taking so much time? So there is no auto. Now, no auto is not every time I'm checking one record and I'm checking that whether there is a auto or not, right? So I will check in a reverse way. I will check is auto. Let's check ulta. Because this, yeah, go ahead. This check will be happening for every contact, right? So is auto. So what is the is auto? Current item from the loop contacts. So I will check if the first name contains auto. If first name contains auto, that means is auto is any part here, then SE auto contact, right? If there is a auto contact, I will store it, store the value. How will I store it? I have to create another bucket. Let's create another bucket. This time I will create another variable called as auto or no auto, whatever. You can create your way. So I am saying has auto. I am flagging it true if there is a auto contact. Data type is, what kind of data type will this be? What is a ideal data type? What is the data type required for this kind of variable? What is the possible values?
Text set.
Text. What I'm checking, this variable is saying I have auto contact or not.
Yeah.
Okay. I have auto contact or not. What can be the possible values for that? What are the answers? What can be the answers? I have auto contact or not? Vaibhav or Vasav, tell me. Come on. Not that difficult, right? Either I will have it or I will not have it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the answer is yes or no, true or false.
Yeah.
What kind of data type is that? If I have a true or false answer or a yes or no answer, then what should I choose? What kind of data type should I choose?
Is that a Boolean?
Boolean.
Boolean, absolutely. It's taking so much time. I can set a default value. Has auto as false. You can make it false. By default, the value is false. So now I will have an assignment. Here I will say populate as auto. Which variable I will populate? As auto.
As auto.
Is equal to what will be the value?
True.
True. So I will make it true when there is an auto value. Okay. So what I will do, this decision will go and check every contact for each item of the collection I am checking, right? Then this decision will populate has auto if it gets an auto record. If it does not get an auto record, then it will go back to the loop. It has a auto record, still it will go back to the loop. Here, any questions? Are you understanding the loop now?
No, sir.
Let's do it once again. The loop inside, after the loop, the thing is happening for each item, right? So when you connect to an activity, it will ask for each item in the collection. That means this step is firing for each of the contact records which you have got here. So there are 2 contacts, it will fire every time. Isn't it? It will check, what it will check? It will check the current item first name contains auto or not. Right? If it is true, contains auto, then it will assign is auto is the option, right? When there is a value, it will assign has auto equals to true. So I have assigned a variable and made it true. By default, this variable is false. And then I will go back to my loop for the next item. And I will check once again. And I will check once again. And I will check once again, right? Clear this part? Clear or not? So decision has 2 branches. One branch is auto. That means when I found a auto record, I have come to this and then I'm going back to the loop for the next item. Again, it will come check is auto record or not, make it true, go back and this thing, right? Basically, it will become true the first time it gets an auto record. Second time it gets an auto record, the true remains true. So no changes. I can break the loop here also. If I make it, I can make when there is a assignment, I can directly go and break the loop also. I can directly take it from here. When I have got an auto, I can take it to the next steps. That is also possible. So first, let's see how this works. This loop is complete, right? I am changing this loop, checking this loop, and making this true. Decision also has a no part. In no part, if I don't get an auto, I should also go to the next item. When there is a default outcome, that means there is no auto contact. Then also I will go to the next loop item. So I have brought it. The other branch will also come to the loop. So decision has 2 branches. The loop will come to decision. This is one branch. If it finds auto contact, this is the other branch, and it will go to the next item. Is it clear now? Okay. Are you getting the point? Play around with this. It is easier for you to understand. After the loop is complete, then I will either have populated the has auto, or this has auto has remained false. So now I can take this loop to another step, right? After this loop, everything, these 3 steps has gone again and again. Then I can take another decision. Has or no auto contacts, anything like that. I am checking now. What is default item? No contacts, no auto contacts. Let's make this check out. Therefore, you can understand. So, what I am checking in this decision, I am checking, did I get Which resource will I check? How will I know that there is a auto contact or not? Where will I get the value? This is the value which is telling me, right? I have auto contact or not?
Yes, has auto contact.
So if has auto equals to true or false,
False.
false. Has auto has to be false, then only there is no contact. Right?
Yes.
Done. So after the loop is complete, I will check this has auto has become true or not. Based on that, I will move it forward. So when there is no contact, then it will go and create the record. Clear where the loop is used? Let us just move. Tell me, how many contacts will get created? Process builder has not is still firing. So what will happen?
One, sir. Only one.
Only one.
Only
Why?
one.
Why only one? The flow will create a contact or not? Process builder is firing first. Process builder will create one contact, right?
Yes.
Then the flow will fire. Flow will create a contact or not?
No,
Why?
it checks the condition in the loop that it has a contact or not.
We are not checking whether it has a contact or not. We are checking it is a first name is auto or not. But no, first name has a auto or not. Right? So let's verify the process builder once again. So this was the contact I will create, right? So first name is auto PB.
Yes.
It contains auto.
Mm.
So it should bypass it, right? Because it will get an auto contact, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
That's why I did not do a equal to auto, because it has auto plus something, right?
Yes.
So now let's test it. Save. One. Process builder created one, flow
One
bypassed it,
contact.
right?
Mm.
What will happen if I edit it now and save it? Flow will create another contact.
Mm.
No, sir.
Still there is auto contact there, right? Let's delete it. What will happen now?
A new contact.
Flow will work.
Flow
New
will
contact will come. Flow will create a new contact.
Yes.
What will happen now? Again,
No changes, sir.
No changes.
No changes.
Because auto is already there, bypassed.
Yes.
I will go and edit this record and I will make it on image. What will happen now?
It will update.
It will update. In the flow, did I update or not? Let's go back to my flow. What are we doing here? Are we updating records?
No.
What are
Create
we
a new
doing?
contact.
So
New
what will
contact.
happen? So how many contacts will be there?
New contact.
2.
Yes.
Treated by flow. Clear?
Yes.
It's time for assignments. I will stop the recording.